Dimension 3 walkthrough. So this level is floor 8, Paranormal Productions, and the video I think is about 26 minutes long, so it's almost 30 minutes long, but the level isn't quite that long. It's kind of deceivingly long, but it is obviously longer than any of the previous levels we've done. So I really like Paranormal Productions, and I think I was actually stuck here the longest the first time that I played this game. And it is pretty easy to get confused and get turned around, so don't get surprised if that happens to you. But we're going to walk on down this cool theater hallway, and we're going to see the concession stand, I guess this might be. And we can pull on the tape reel there, and that'll open up the back wall and give us one of the... I always forgot what those things are called right now. Gems. That'll give us one of the gems of the level. And if you want to grab that one, you can just pop out Luigi and then go through the vent that's on the right side. But we're going to worry about gems later, so we're just going to use this TV. And I think we had to flash it first. That's going to turn it on, and it's going to create some kind of interesting ghostly abilities from this television. And as you see, the television in the other room teleported us into the beginning room, and this is where the key is going to be. It's inside of that glass display case. So we're just going to put a plunger on it, and some of the most awkward positioning that I've ever seen in my life for plunger placement, and then we're going to grab the key and head on back through the door.
Huh? Hello?
Acqua porcini.
The dialogue with the director ghost should be a pretty good hint as to what we have to do. We have to get the guy his great megaphone, and there's going to be a couple of things I'm going to show off first here and then try to remember what order I did this place in. So if we come up here, we'll see up on top there's a gem, and that gem is a little bit tricky, but it'll make more sense when we're finished with the level, and I don't really think there's anything else up here. It's also pretty easy to fall off, although I don't really know how that happened, because next time when I go up there to get all the gems for this level, I climb up to that part and I have like no problem whatsoever going across the grating there, so that was really very strange. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to do this in the 1, 2, 3, 4 order, and I sped up this part because it's a really cool part, but you also don't really need to know, or you don't need to see all these rooms just yet. We could just go straight to room 4 and kind of do it that way. But the way that these rooms are going to work is that there's going to be a camera, and we're going to need to switch to Luigi, and you have Luigi use the camera, and that will show what's actually happening in the scene. So in this scene, we're going to see that weird water woman comes out of the well, and then I'm going to, for some reason, come on over here to scene 3 first, and if we look through this camera, we're going to see the buildings are all on fire, and we're going to need some way to deal with that. There's also going to be some ghosts that we're going to have to fight here, and we don't really have to do it this way, but I'm just going to speed through this because all this is sort of unnecessary, but I just wanted to show it anyway. And it's not a bad idea to kill some of these ghosts early just so you don't have to do it later, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to take the same amount of time either way, right? And then we're going to get rid of this big red guy, and we're going to head out side of this room, and we'll want to turn all the televisions on. So I think I skipped room 2. It's kind of weird. But anyway, we're going to head on over here to room 4. And this is kind of going to be where we have to finish. Yes, so you see there, that is where the red megaphone is. And if we pull down this if we try to pull down that cardboard box, it's not really going to work too well. So if we come into the camera scene, we can pull down the cardboard box. There's a spider, and there's also the megaphone trapped in spiderwebs. So kind of earlier through this game, we've seen that we can burn stuff. So that should kind of be letting you know we need to burn the spider webs. But how the heck do we get fire over here? That's where the fun begins. So now I'm going to head on over to room 2. Again, make sure you turn on the televisions. And this is where we're going to start. So we're going to drop Luigi into the scene and then use Luigi to use the camera. But I'm going to turn on the television and then come here and come back outside. We're going to need to pick up this bucket. And by start, I meant we're going to start in room number 1, but that's okay. I'm getting a little bit confused here. This level is slightly confusing. So we're going to take the bucket through the television, and I think that's the only way we can bring items between these rooms, because you can't open up doors while you're carrying an item in your in your poltergust. And then we're going to drop the bucket into the well while Luigi is in the scene. And then we're going to push X on the well, and that'll zoom in, and the water woman will pop up, but this time she'll give us the bucket filled with water. And now we can grab that off of her and put it down and then end the scene, and now we can take that back outside, and we'll want to go into the second shooting room. And it'll look like Luigi is losing all the water in in the bucket when he's moving it around, but luckily he doesn't really lose any of it. Then we're going to drop the bucket in the scene again, and then we're going to go activate the camera, but we'll need Luigi out first. So I forgot to do that. That's alright though. I think I will fix that here in a second. Yep. It's this level is really one of the more convoluted ones. I remember first playing this game, I was a little bit worried. I thought the rest of the game was going to get even more complicated, but this is probably the most complicated level. There might be another one that's a little bit challenging too, and as far as puzzles go, but I don't really think any of them quite reach this one. Okay, so we're going to use the water from the bucket to water that beanstalk or whatever that is, and some sword night ghosts are going to spawn, and they're really not a big deal. And the whole time we're also going to be having arrows thrown at us, or spears, or whatever those are. Those are pretty easy, and it looks like a boulder. That one's not going to hit us though. They're pretty easy to dodge, so just kind of stay on the right side. And then we're going to head up here and grab the torch. And the torch is no longer on fire, so we probably thought we could just go straight to room 4, but now we have to actually light it. But before that, we have to actually be able to get out of the scene, so we're going to have a bunch of ghosts who are covered with shields and other weapons, and that guy actually managed to hit me, and I think Luigi can only withstand 2 hits from a ghost, so I'm 1 hit away from dying right now, but it's not really a big deal. I knocked all of the weapons out of these ghosts' hands, and once this one's down, then we'll be able to end the scene. And we'll pick up the gold first if we wish. I don't really think I spend too much money on the gold. But anyway, I'm just going to move the torch kind of a little bit more out of the scene. I think it was fine where it was before. And then we're finally going to leave the camera and pick up the torch with Luigi. So as I said, it's no longer on fire. We'll have to light it on fire. And what better place to do that than the fire scene? So we're going to head on over to scene 3. And then we're going to drop the torch, then drop Luigi, and repeat what we did before. Go look through the camera. And now we should be able to light the torch on fire on one of the fires, on one of the fires that you see. That door burst open and caught fire, so that's what we were going to use to light that torch there. And I already defeated the ghosts earlier in the video, so if you haven't done that, you'll have to do it there, most likely. And now that our torch is lit, we are free to go grab the red megaphone. So we're going to head on back to room 4, and then we'll just drop the flaming torch into the cardboard box scene, and then we'll switch to Luigi. After we drop the torch, though, we need to make sure we do that. I think I was trying to, yeah, there we go, I grabbed it off as Luigi. I think I was concerned the torch would lose its flame, but it won't. The torch will keep its flame right now. So anyway, as you see, I'm gonna have to drop it anyway because I have to lower the cardboard box. So I think I was just concerned that the torch would lose its fire if I dropped it, so, you know, game doesn't tell you those things. Hard to know before you actually try it out. And if the torch is actually near the spider like I had it there, then it'll kill the spider for you, so that's cool. And then we can burn this, whatever it's called, the spider web, and there's the megaphone. So there's a gem in there that you can grab right now as Luigi, but again, I'm going to worry about those later. And then we're going to switch back to Luigi and head on over to the movie director. And we'll give him his megaphone and get ready for the boss fight.
Ridiculous, but no.
Hey.
Angelo Taylor. Capriana Honey.
Whoa. No.
Valley.
Sorry.
Godzilla, or maybe it's a Ghostzilla, or maybe there's probably actually an official Nintendo name for this guy, but whatever it is, it's a fight in a pretty small-sized city, but it looks big because we're all, well, it's a small-sized, they're small buildings, you know what I mean. So this is a ghost in a dinosaur costume, and he's going to be throwing a lot of these kind of ghostly orbs at us, and we can try pushing them back at him, which is what we're doing right now. So we're not going to suck them toward us, we're going to push them back slowly, and it'll be able to knock him over, and we're going to have to do that a few times. And he'll have some other moves that he'll throw at us in the meantime, but we don't really have to be too concerned. It's kind of hard to take a lot of damage against this guy. And this is, like, I love this boss, but it really is a very easy one. So he's gonna chuck some ghostly fireballs at us, and just sidestepping those is all you have to do. And I think I was just trying to see if there was any, like, quicker way I could speed up this fight. I don't really think there was. So then he's going to send another ball at us, but this time one won't be enough. So we're going to need to remember, there we go, to get Luigi out and use him to also spray the ball forward. And as long as one of or both of you are spraying on top of it, then you don't have to be super close for it to go back to the ghost. And that'll knock him over a second time, and the director is going to be very happy with us, with our performance. And then we're going to just dodge more of the attacks that this guy sends at us, and do that another time. And I kind of wished there was an achievement or something for making this boss destroy all the buildings, because it's kind of fun when you're the giant thing walking through all the buildings and they're all getting knocked down by you, but you know, you can't really repeat the boss fight, so I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't do that. I don't know. I'm just trying to fill the void here. He's gonna send us 2 more rounds of those fireballs, and then there we go, he's gonna form another ghost ball, and yet again we'll just use both Luigi and Luigi. That one he's gonna be a little bit less happy about. And we're going to have to do the first quick time event in the entire game, so just mash your A button, and you should be able to pretty effortlessly win that fight. And that'll knock the ghost off into the river. As we see, he's just a plain old 100 health ghost. Really not a whole lot to worry about now that he lost his armor. And he's gonna swing at us, and I'm somehow gonna miss the light there, but anyway, got him finally, and then we're just gonna beat him to death, suck him in, and there we go, boss fight complete.
Mazziano.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Hop, hop, whoop, hop, whoop.
So I also think this is the first time we have an actually completely optional enemy ghost to capture, because that director ghost really isn't very interested in us. He wants his film, but if we want to capture the director ghost, we can. We can just go into the director's room here, and there's also an achievement for doing this, so he'll be editing the movie here, and he's completely defenseless. And it kind of makes me feel bad, but the guy's only got 25 health, and he was kind of ruining my day, so I'm going to try to suck him in. I think it might take me 3 tries because of the stupid piggy bank. And finally, there we go. Now we have the director ghost. So again, I'm pretty certain that that's optional. I don't think you have to do that, but it is still kind of fun. And we can also get a gem here by spinning the editing equipment enough, but I don't think I'm going to focus on that. There's an Oscar we can blow up and get some gold out of it. So there's really just a whole lot of destructible things in here, as there are in every room. And then we can head on back to the elevator. And this is where the deceivingly long level part comes in, because that level probably isn't too much longer than the other levels we've done, assuming you know what to do, that is. But now, we'll see in a second what this game's gonna kind of do to remind us that it's not gonna do everything exactly the same every single floor. So once we attempt to put the button inside, you can probably guess something else is gonna take the button from us.
Oh yeah.
And there's the ghostly cat. So I think it's the polter kitty. And it's going to be a pretty angry kitty once it swallows the button, if it's not already an angry kitty. And she's going to come on back outside. And we're going to have to chase it around. So just like when we chase the polter pup earlier in the game, or the other people, the other ghosts who go through walls, if you ever lose the cat, you can use your black light, or whatever the name of that is, and you can find the tracks and the walls that the cat went through. So when we come in here, I think we can hear the cat moving around ahead of us, above us, I mean. Let's see, if we follow the footsteps, I think they just kind of disappear. Or maybe they actually did go inside of here. Oh, okay, she went inside of here the first time. There's a ghost sweeping, so we'll deal with him first. I can't remember now. So let's get rid of this guy and then the tiny ghosts, and then we'll see. The cat's probably in here, though. It's kind of hard for me to see the footprints of the ghost on my editing software. It's probably pretty obvious on YouTube, but here we are. So just a bunch of ghosts, you know, another wave of them that we have to defeat. Not like we haven't done this before. And then if we use the black light, there we go, we can see, yes, the cat is here behind the door, so we're going to open up the door, and it'll run outside and hide underneath the bench, so we just kind of have to chase it around and try to flash it, so there we go. Once we flash it, now it'll get angry, and now we have to deal with the cat. So this is kind of a mini-boss, and if you're looking at the cat, it'll behave like a boo and won't look at you. So you want to pop Luigi out and have the cat go toward Luigi, and then you want to stun it when the cat does its scare attack. So when it kind of throws its claws out, you're gonna flash it with your flashlight then, and then you should be able to suck up one of its tails. And if you notice, the cat has 3 tails, so yes, we're gonna have to do that 3 times. And that was the first time we have to complete that, so we will switch back on over to Luigi. And I was kind of disappointed when you come back to this level, all the cameras are broken, so you can't even look at the scenes again. I don't really know why they did that. Alright, so the cat's going to jump up on those steel gratings or girder or whatever that supports. I don't know what those are called. I know those have a name, and I'm sure I'll think about it after the video, but whatever. I had a hard time staying on this earlier, so we're just going to wait on the corner for the cat to come near us, because the cat's kind of bouncing in a circle around on top of that, and then she'll jump on down here, but that won't be enough. We're not going to be able to fight her again. She's going to go into the floor. And yes, that means we're going to have to go onto the floor below us, and I think the last floor we did was the topiary? No, not topiary, the garden suites. So I think it's the big garden place. We're also going to be met with a new random enemy, this time in fact a trash can. So this one is kind of amusing to me. So this trash can is going to attack us, and to defeat it, first we need to stun it by using a plunger, and we need to use our black light on it. And I think I got stuck on this thing. I think I even forgot right here what I was supposed to do, but I got stuck on this stupid thing for a long time because I forgot that you're supposed to use the black light on those stupid little ghostly puffballs. So once we do that, the trash can will be restored to its inanimate, stupid state, thank goodness. And then we can destroy it, just to be sure. There's also a lot of gold bars in there for some reason. And then we can leave and head on back to the elevator. And we're going to want to go down a floor after we kill even more ghosts. So yeah, I just sped through this part because, you know, the game is just teasing us at this point. And there we go. I cut through most of that load screen, and I'm speeding through most of the travel because we've already seen this level. We did this in the last video, so you should be pretty familiar with here, and we're just, again, going to be met with a lot of enemies. We'll take those guys out, no problem. And we're going to have to climb up, not quite as hard as the first time when we came here. Most of the puzzles will still be solved, but it's still not exactly fun having to do it. And I'm just double checking the location of the cat there, making sure I'm not forgetting her, because if you need to go down, you're going to have to climb back down. You can't just fall down, you'll respawn from wherever you fell off of, so try to keep that in mind. And then I think she's inside of one of the flower petals here. Oh, no, the wardrobe. And then she's going to run into a flower petal, so we'll just break that one open, and if Luigi would stop getting scared when I pop her out, I'd be able to stun her easier. And there we go. Finally got her to the second stun, and she's going to jump up on the tree branch. So same thing, just turn Luigi away from her and wait for that attack right there, and then turn around with Luigi and flash her. And then we should be able to take off the second tail. And I don't believe she's going to run to any more floors this time. I think she's just going to run into another room. Yes. Okay, we're almost there. This is a pretty long method to get this stupid button for. Oh, I'm under attack by my own dog. Okay, so we'll follow a lot of these footprints into the bathroom, and luckily we don't have to go very far to find her. And then she's gonna jump out through the window, and if we start clearing some of these flower petals, I think we'll see. Okay, I guess we do have to go up then. I thought maybe we just had to go into the bathroom, but I think we do have to keep going up, so we'll just head on up the stairs. Because I guess she went out the window and probably up the stairs there. Luckily, we don't have to deal with those bouncing pineapples anymore. And then once we get in here, should be able to use the black light once we're in the next bathroom. But we're going to have to deal with yet another new enemy. So this is like a door enemy of some kind, and it has 2 tongues. You're going to need both Luigi and Luigi to take him out. So he's super easy, but he's also just kind of impossible to tell when he's going to show up. He just kind of shows up. There's not too many of him in the game, though. Anyway, this level is just wanting to be really obnoxious. Okay, so there's the cat through the wall, meaning that she came inside now, or through the window. And we're just going to destroy this watermelon, and I believe the cat is inside of here. Yep, there's the cat. Or I guess the cat was inside the 2 watermelons in the bathroom. And then we need to open up the faucet so we can scare the cat, because for some reason the ghostly cat is afraid of water. And once we fill the bathtub with water, then we can finally stun the cat for a 3rd time, and it'll jump up on top of the next vine. So again, we'll just turn away from the cat. I think I'm not really in a good spot right there. The cat's slowly turning toward me. Finally, it'll see me. Just be patient. Wait for that part. There you go. Then stun her and pick up the tail. Finally, we're done. We'll finally get the button back. Now we can head on back down to the elevator, and we have 2 options. We can either climb up to the top and then slide down the tree, or we can just walk down the steps. I don't really know which one's faster, but you can't just fall down because you'll respawn right where you were. And once we go back to the elevator, I might cut all that out or speed it up. I guess we'll find out in a second here. I sped it all up really fast. Okay. Once we head on back down to the elevator, we can finally continue to the next floor, and I will see you in the next video.
Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh.